session and episode of JSMFx, and we're going to do, just as usual, the weekly analysis, the review and focus of the week, and also the previous week of first week of September, that is 2nd to 6th, and then the what do you call it, focus of 9th to 13th of September. So let's begin with how's the dollar. Nothing much happened during this week, but I had some few trades. I just wasn't interested in others because they, didn't match up according to my plan, and I had to ignore them and focus on other pairs. That's why at least I tried to involve most pairs to, maximize my thinking and also knowing how to, uh, capitalize on every part of the pairs. So starting off on Aussie dollar, excuse me. The daily now proves to sell, and as you see, we have the change of character. Price has pulled back to the extreme, which is this one here, the purple one. Okay, it has pulled back deeper to the extreme, so I think now we will be in a downtrend most parts of the September, starting in from this week. Actually, this week, actually from August last week, the last week of August. Yeah. Anyway, so on the daily we had a change of character right here, and as price pushed lower, okay, it tried to pull back to this flip zone, somehow kinda relative flip zone, and as you can see, I had my daily PI marked, which evidently price did weak it, and then signal that we're going to go lower. So for me, I'll just be expecting price to come down here and maybe expect some reaction around this area of demand. For our the same for how we had a change of character. Let me see the change of character right here. As price came down, pull back to not really its extreme, but at least it showed some potential from there after some few change of characters like this one. Pushed lower, and then when it was coming back, it didn't hit that range, this one, but I think the news just manipulated price to go lower than that. So yeah, so as you can see now, we are proving to just go lower to this daily demand, which happens to be our it happens to be our daily demand, and I don't think if I see any 4-hour demand nested inside, although there's this one which I haven't actually drawn it across, but I don't feel it's that strong. I just expect some reaction when price comes down to this demand coming in next week, possibly. So that's what is happening on the 4-hour. That if price gets to pull back, then I'll be expecting it to come to this supply area, where maybe from there we'll be expecting some reaction. Then maybe something could happen like this. Okay, then push lower or something. Yeah, so that's one way actually to look at price and expect things to be coming next week. Okay, so 15 minutes. Actually, before the 15 minutes, well, I think we should just run to the 1 hour so that we can see how the week played out. Okay, so when price came down after the 4-hour change of character, I noticed that on this part, let me explain this, that happened on Monday. I noticed that I saw that we had a change of character. Just a second. We had a change of character right here in the 15 minutes. Okay, right here. So let me just draw that for the sake of validating it. 15-minute choke, and then when price went up, it came to this fair value gap. This is always my fair value gap point where I mark it, and also my 1-hour POI. So yeah, it pulled back up to this 15-minute 15-minute supply, and it actually wicked it. I was expecting it to touch this higher supply, but it didn't do so. So when price was coming down, I was like, you know what, I take the risk of having this buy on this area, okay, this demand. And another proof that got me convincing on the buys is also these triple bottoms like this 1, 2, and 3. So surprisingly, I didn't take this trade. Why? Because I was focused on other pairs. Yeah. So I think the only exception is that I don't have multiple screens for me to monitor the trades that I've actually be checking out. But this would have been a very good trade. I think 3R would be enough for me, just like always in my rules. 3R would have been enough because, as you can see, price pulled back up to mitigate actually deeper into this supply pullback. Sorry, supply that was left pending, and also my liquidity point that I already marked. So as you can see, I had marked that liquidity and also that one, and later on when price came up, it came up to this supply. I think it kind of hit it also, but it doesn't validate that much for me, so I'll just leave it at that because I wasn't interested again uh, after that missing trade. So I just let price play out. So all the way, I think during the Tuesday I wasn't interested because I didn't find any POI that would give me a clue of any status of price bouncing back on the opposite direction or the pullback. So after it came down here, this was on Wednesday, I marked that as my change of character once it was broken. So I kept on following on it, okay, following up on it. And as you can see, I pulled back to the supply, wicked it, just to take these highs, the side that were left. And then when it was coming down, it tried pulling back up, to the upside, but it didn't break this supply, okay, it didn't break above. So what I told myself is, I marked all my liquidity right there, and right there, and also my trend line. I figured, with this trend line, price would maybe give us two options: either it will be going up or going down. But you see, for the case of NFP, you never have to anticipate such kind of direct moves, because you see what NFP did. Okay, it actually came down, okay, induced more sellers to sell, okay, then it went back up to take out all the weak sellers, okay, all the weekly sellers, the people that sold during the week, they're all taken out. I think if you blew your account during the NFP yesterday, I'm sorry about that. So you just have to be frugal about these things and also follow up on them very keenly, because sometimes you might miss out on such opportunities, or also fold your hands and never to get involved in such risky trades, especially on that important news day. Okay, so what I'm seeing right now is that price has broken the low of my 15-minute swing structure. So right now I'll be expecting a pullback. If I'm going to expect that pullback, I don't think I'm going to expect it very soon. So what I know is that I have this, okay, I have this as my 15-minute pullback supply, okay, that actually price pullback too. So let me try and get through that real quick. And I think my mouse is out of power, but I'm trying to see if we can hold on to it. Okay, so I have this daily demand, okay, that is I'm expecting price to come to. So I think I wasn't that much involved in Aussie dollar, but what I'm expecting is at least, even for that direction of the high time frame, I still expect price to come down here and then go up and mitigate this kind of supply that was left on the 4 hour. So that's what I'll be expecting on the Aussie dollar. Let's jump now to Euro USD. So Euro USD, obviously we had a change of character right there on the daily. Then price pulled back to this extreme. It actually, excuse me, it actually didn't touch it, but excuse me, but somehow we with this kind of reactions of change of character to the downside gives us a little bit of clue that we could be starting a pullback and also mitigating to this demand, or maybe this demand down here. So even when the NFP played out yesterday, as you can see, price wicked that extreme right here above here, which was actually our daily flip zone, and yeah, price could be signaling us that it wants to go lower. Excuse me. So 4 hour, same to the daily, we had a change of character. Okay, had a change of character right there, but before this change of character, price reacted off of this demand on the 4 hour. Okay, so which caused the what do you call it, the flip zone. Okay, that means that when price now came down like this, it pulled back up to this area, which mitigated and actually was planning to take these highs up here, which NFP did. And now NFP is trying to tell us that I am signaling you that we could be going or continuing to the downside. So yeah, so even with the NFP playing out, we see that price pushed down, and yeah, maybe it's ready to go to the downside. So nothing much on the USD. I didn't take any trade because, you know, I wasn't that active. Just like I said, I don't have enough space to, you know, like watch all these pairs at the same time and, you know, keep track of them. But what happened is that on Monday, okay, price pulled back, okay, to this supply. Then when it went lower, it came back up, caused this change of character. Now this is where I need you to pay attention. Okay, after this change of character right here, price, okay, let me try and draw that out. So after this high came this low, breaking this previous lower low, and then price came up to react to this supply, then didn't break this low, so it reacted only on some demand here on the 15-minute. Excuse me, oh my god. Then it shot up. Okay, so this means that this is our flip zone. Okay, this range, this sell to buy range on the blue or the brown demand area, this is our flip zone, so price could be coming down there. So when price came down, you saw, you know, I noticed that there was a range here, then broke to the upside, came down again. Sorry, after this high, it came down again like this. Then after it came down, it went back up again to mitigate further to this 15-minute POI, the gray one. Then when it was coming down, it was still inducing at least a few sellers, but what they didn't know is that they forgot that there was this extreme flip zone, extreme extreme 4 hour and daily flip zone, which that is what happened. And you know, price short to the downside again after taking out the buy side liquidity, especially these ones that are already marked. Okay, so price came up again. Now it looks like, you know, it wants to come down, especially to this flip zone. Sorry, yeah, flip zone for the 4 hour, yeah, 4 hour flip zone. So if I could get this one out. So this is our viewing price. First and foremost, I'll go 15 minutes because I didn't have any trades, so let's just analyze this real quick. So price came up here, okay, came down, short down, you know, to mitigate these areas of demand and also build liquidity. Okay, so I'm thinking this liquidity was heavily built on this demand area, which later on they came in, took them out. So when it came down, went back up again, then it went up, it came down again. Okay, so this is how I'm going to view it. I'm going to mark this as my 15-minute high, okay, because it was broken with a candle right there. Then I'm going to move this low, okay, to here, okay, because that was the last low before that break, this break. And then after this low, we had another break to the upside with the NFP. So I'm going to check this was a valuable pullback. Let's see, yeah, 19 pips, that's good. So I'm going to mark that also as my high, my next high. Okay, so after this next high, we have this high now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move this actually this low, I'm going to put it here where the NFP took the liquidity first before shot up. Okay, so that was my previous low. Okay, now I'm trying to analyze this pair, because after NFP I never want to involve myself in analyzing. I just want to stay out of the chart. So this is my next high, because now it broke to the low. Now it kind of like in a downtrend. Okay, so I'm going to have that as my low, then I'm going to have that, sorry, my high. Yeah, I'm going to have that as my low. So that signals to me that we are going up, then it came down. So now with this lower high, possibly we could be going to the downside. So we're in a downtrend, we are in a downtrend on the 15-minute. Okay, so I'll only mark this now as my 15-minute supply. Okay, where I'm expecting at least price to come to and possibly push price down lower, like that. So that is how I am viewing this, and that is what I'll be expecting on the 15-minute. So let's now go to GBP USD. That will be all for Euro USD. Yes, so GBP USD, very interesting pair. I think I gave us a little bit of profit and also some little bit of lessons out of the carelessness that happened during the week. So we had break to the upside like that, and now price looks to like coming down, just like the Aussie, Euro, and also the recent pair that we're in. So I'm guessing with this weekly supply up here, I don't think if price is gonna come up to this section anytime soon, until maybe we do some little bit of pullbacks before we continue to the upside. Because overall we are on an uptrend. 4 hour very, very detailed. We had a change of character right here. Price pulled back to some kind of flip zone, and then when it went back down from the lower low, then we continued with the downtrend. So lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, then we had the lower low. So we had a change of character right here after my flag was broken, as you can see. Had a change of character, and price pushed to the upside. Okay, so NFP I think took out some liquidity in above these highs, previous highs, then short lower. So what I'm seeing right now is that after price went up, before it went up, it had this previous high which actually caused a pullback like that, and then went to the upside. So when it was coming down forcefully, as you can see, we caused another change of character there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this bullish candle as my supply area on the 4 hour. I know it's quite big, but it is what it is, and we'll refine that in the lower time frame. So yeah, so that's what happened on the 4 hour of the GBP USD. I'll be expecting at least price to come down to these sort of demands that were left during the month of August. This one I think was mitigated, so not interested on that one. Also this one, we'll draw it across, expecting it price to come down lower. And also this demand area that I marked on from the daily, we're expecting also price to come down lower to that, possibly. So 15 minutes, I think I captured some few trades here, and also some few lessons, some carelessness. So when price opened on Monday during this week, it mitigated to this kind of supply. I think this was a 1 hour supply. So let me mark that so that I can explain better. Okay, so this was a 1 hour. Okay, so price after it came down there, I noticed actually on the 15-minute I was following up on this price because there was some kind of a change of character around here. So when price was coming down like this, I noticed that after this double bottom, okay, we at least would have done a little bit of pullback to come and take out these highs, because somehow we wanted to like go and expected price to come up here to this supply. So let's just go to 15 minutes so I can explain well. Starting off with this one, we are right here. So when price caused, I think the change of character was around, I'm not sure of the area, but yeah, somewhere around there, but it's not visible now. Anywho, so when price went up like that, came down. So when price came down, I noticed that with this pullback right here, when it came down from this lower low, it shot up to cause a change of character. So within this pullback, when it was coming down to this extreme, I was kind of skeptical, because when it was, you know, trying to start its actual pullback that I was expecting, it formed a double bottom. Okay, and for me, double bottoms, you know, those bottoms are liquidity. Okay, for me, they are liquidity. So anyway, I just took a leap of faith and went on to the 5 minute, and I think 5 minute gave me a very good entry. Okay, I think there was a change of character right around here, and when it went up, let me try and explain that by zooming in. So after it came down like that, it pulled back with this green candle, then came down lower than this previous low, then it shot up to cause the change of character. So when it was coming down like this, okay, pulling down, and that's when I took my trade, and I think I bagged in a good, very RR. Okay, this was 2.91, not bad. Why did I take it too early and not the 3R? Is because I was waiting for price to come to this supply. Okay, so that is what is called discipline. That even if it doesn't meet your RR, or rather your risk to reward, your reward ratio, okay, you also need to take that out, so that you can at least, where you're expecting price to come to, you can at least take some profits off of that, because as you can see, it went up, but it didn't go above that high. So when it came deeper to this supply, shot down again, you know, to break that low. So that would have been, you know, you would have been automatically another member of liquidity. Okay, so it shot down to this supply area. Okay, sorry, my demand area, the 4-hour, this one that I just drew here. Okay, that's when now, after it came down to that side, I already had the flag drawn in on the chart. So what happened is, after it came down, another sell side liquidity was built. Okay, so I think we had a change of character around here. Then when price went up, okay, after the change of character, the actual break of the bullish change of character, price started ranging, as you can see. Then after the range, now this is when I took another trade. Okay, I actually took 2 trades on this one, so I think I'll explain better on the 5 minute. So let's try and go there real quick. So on the 5 minute, I noticed that we had some kind of change of character right here, and when price was coming, you know, ranging around this area, I marked my demand, you know, my 15-minute demand right there. So after I marked this liquidity, I said, you know what, maybe they're using this to induce people so that they could buy. Okay, so that they could buy and continue price to the upside. Okay, and also later on they'll come and take them out, maybe with the news. We'll see that just in a minute. So when price shot up, I took the trade. Okay, and when I took the trade, I noticed that this pullback was a little bit slow. Okay, because I noticed that when it came to this you know, flag line, my trend line on the flag, I felt like, you know, we could be going down or starting to, you know, come down to take out this liquidity. But that wasn't the case. But for me, I trailed my stop loss, you know, to break even as price was, you know, breaking to the upside. And then when it came here, I wanted to take my profit. Okay, I wanted to take my profit, but I said, no, you know what, I'm still anticipating for price to go up. But as you can see, I trailed my stop loss to, I think, around here. I trailed my stop loss to around here. Then when the price went up, caused a double top, came down real quick, and, you know, took me out. So the first one was the trailing stop loss, and then the second one, now I took it around here. Okay, I think I should extend this like that. I took it around here when price came down to this 1 minute demand. Okay, this 1 minute demand that I noticed on the 1 minute. So let me just try and show you if, you know, can get the time. So let's see. We have this, yes, we have the change of character on the 1 minute right here. And when price was going up and then it came down, I was like, you know what, let me just take this trade and close my eyes. So that's when I left it, because when it came down, I noticed after this change of character, I was safe to say that price was going up, and I backed in that profit. So one of them was a trailing stop loss that was hit, and another one was a full TP. So after that, price went up, as you can see. Then now on Wednesday, I wasn't interested on the pair, but I kept on marking my levels just to see if I can get opportunities. I noticed also this demand that was kind of holding, but I wasn't very sure of that. So when it came here, I didn't want to take that trade, so I just let it play out all the way to the NFP. And yeah, I didn't have much to see or from the GBP/USD, because there are other areas, the other pairs that gave me a little bit of hints on continuation of the trend, or possibilities of some trend. So let me mark this off real quick with together, so that we can see how price played out. So let's go to the 15 minute to see how it played out and what we'll be expecting. So let's start with this low. It got broken right there. So I'm going to ignore this pullback. Okay, I'm going to ignore this pullback, and also this week. So all this now was our low. Okay, all that was my low. And for now, I just want to mark this as my supply area, expecting price to at least come there. But as you can see, it already touched this high. Okay, this pullback. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark that as my 15 minute POI. And yeah, I think I can't mark this low as my low. Okay, but what I know is that price is on a downtrend on the GBP/USD. But where price came to, it came to this demand that I was marking, that I marked, and I was expecting price to come to, and also this 4 hours. So we draw those across, and I'll delete this one because now it's not valuable. It's not, yeah, it's not yeah, valuable. And yeah, so coming in next week, I think, or I'm anticipating, I think I'll be anticipating for price to come deeper to this demand area. Although here I think it came a little bit deeper, but somehow relatively it was still at the edge. So maybe I'll be expecting some kind of some move, maybe to the upside, to mitigate any areas before areas of supply, before continuing to the downside, or rather with the trend. Okay, so that is what I'll be expecting on the GBP/USD. So next up is a DXY. Interesting pair, interesting trades. Let's go. So DXY US dollar index. Okay, interesting pair. On the daily, we can see that we're playing between that high and also some kind of a low here, but despite the break, I think price still wants to like shoot up, or complete that pullback. So yes, we've had the daily change of character, we had the return, so I think now it's ready to continue to the upside and at least come to this daily supply that was left because of this void. So let's go to the 4 hour. Now with the 4 hour, I was kind of confused. Okay, I was kind of confused because somehow in some ways I felt like it won't come down. Where is that? I felt like maybe it won't come down lower the way it did. Okay, but I already marked these demand areas where I expected price. Excuse me. Where I expected price to touch and continue to the upside. So also on the 4 hour, we can see that this high was broken, which caused the daily change of character. We also had a 4 hour change of character right there, this dash line. And then now all this was a return to its extreme before going to upside. So I'll kind of decrease this so that I'll be expecting price to at least go to the upside like that, because it came down, taking out all these lows and maybe signaling us to continue to the upside. Sorry about my food today. Hope you'll bear with me. Okay, so 1 hour. Actually on the 15 minute, let me just go down to 15 minute. Now for the 15 minute, I noticed that on Tuesday we had this change of character, and I was expecting price to at least mitigate to that extreme range, but that didn't happen. Okay, so price shot down, and as you can see, we continue to the downside, causing a downtrend, which we have lower low here. Okay, lower low, then lower high, then all this was a down move. We had a change of character here, which I was expecting price to at least pull back like this, then maybe come and take them out to somehow some flips on, but that didn't happen, although it happened later on the NFP. Okay, so yeah, so I think when it was coming down, I marked that as my triangle, my descending triangle, but price broke through, so I wasn't interested in this pair because I wasn't seeing so much of a setup. So let me also do an analysis on this one. That is a low, that is also a low. So this break of this low now, okay, has caused some few changes. I think I'll, despite this being a high and all this being a pullback, I'll just take this as a low, and this now will be my pullback. So this now will be my next high, and then I'll delete this. Actually, I won't delete it. I'll just come and put it down here to signal that this is my low. And yeah, we are now heading to the upside. And also the 15 minute, we see very clearly that we have also a change of character right there. I'm not sure about it extreme, but what I know is that these weeks really hold so much importance. So I'll be watching that also. And also this supply right here, sorry, demand, I'll be watching that also, at least price to possibly come down there before continuing up, or maybe coming down to this area, okay, of demand and continuing going up. So that is my anticipation on the DXY coming in next week. Let's see where this price reacted from. Okay, let's see where it reacted from, because yeah, somehow reacted from this demand area, okay, right there. And yeah, coming in across, yeah, you can see it was very clear. So let's see if there was yeah, oh, okay, now I understand. Excuse me. We had this imbalance, okay, we had this kind of, what you call it, a fair value gap, and such stuff. And yeah, so all this range was also a pullback. Sorry, it was also a pullback, and was also inducement, and also yeah, liquidity points where short price to the upside, but came down and took them out with this week. So I think let's see how this week played out on the 5 minute. You see, there was another supply zone. I think that was the one that sorry, demand zone that was hit, okay, like that. 5 minute, yeah, 5 minute. So that is what is happening. And also I'll be expecting price to also come in depth of this 15 minute POI. Okay, I'll be expecting also some reactions from there, maybe to push price lower or up. It will depend. If you want us to trade together, you can join me up on Telegram. I'll leave the link on my description box so that you can join in and see you, and can't wait to trade with you coming in next week. So also this will be my other pair, sorry, my other demand that I'll be expecting price to hit and expect some reaction. Okay, so I think we also had let's see if we can find some few change of characters, the bearish ones. Okay, from the 15 minute we can't see any, but on the 5 minute we have one here which was very sublime, caused a flip zone, but price looked to have mitigated to the extreme, of this supply, which price pushed lower. So yeah, so that is how I will look at DXY, and that is what I'm expecting. So let's jump now to the last two pairs, that is the USD CHF and gold. So USD CHF, very interesting pair, had a daily change of character. We were playing between this high and this low, had the daily bullish change of character, and price shot up. It didn't come to the extreme, but that happened later on with this week, but it actually touched the edge. So one thing I'd love to say is every time when price touches the edge, I still anticipate for price to go lower, okay, like the way it did here with these candles, these few, I think, double bottoms before this week. Okay, I expect it to go deeper in that POI before reversing or giving us some few reactions. So what I'm expecting is because of the NFP, then I feel where it is right now, I'll be anticipating some few buys, especially to this supply area. Okay, so 4 hour. So 4 hour, very interesting also. We had this low, price pulled up, then came down, broke, like I said, these relative double bottoms. It broke down to the lower side, and then when it was coming down, it actually broke another low. Okay, but this was the deeper pullback that actually gave me the sense of putting my low down there. So I had this as my change of character, and as you can see, price pulled back to the extreme but violated it. So that means that we should be looking for another change of character on the 4 hour if we are expecting price to go up, and that will be this line. Okay, so I'll be expecting at least price to come up there to break it to the upside before getting involved in any way in this pair. Okay, so what else? I think there was no pullback candle in this because all these candles broke the previous candle's low. So this was the only pullback candle that I'll be having my chalk line and expecting price to go up. Okay, so I will not mark this week as my low because it didn't break and had the candle close. So this is still my low. Also with the pullback, it didn't touch the 50% equilibrium, so that's another thing to look at, and also expecting that confluence, or sorry, that bias of buys could be starting. Okay, so 1 hour. So coming in on the 1 hour, had some few interesting trades. I think I'll start off with the 15 minutes so that I can show you also the trades and my anticipation coming in next week. So I think this happened on Wednesday, okay, when price came and reacted off from this 15-minute supply, 15-minute demand right there, right here. As you can see, it caused the change of character. Okay, it caused the change of character right there, the dashed line, and then after that, right to the upside, it sorry, let me try and zoom in so I can explain better. So after that change of character, price pulled back lower, as you can see, to that demand area. Okay, demand area right there, this range. Okay, now that's where now actually I was expecting price to come down lower to this POI, but it actually touched that edge and shot up. But still I was in the trade, and this is where I was now a little bit careless because price went my way, and coming in my way I was expecting my TP to be hit right there, and so I think I wasn't around with on my PC, so I didn't take that TP. And also when I came back, I was actually anticipating that 4 hour pullback was starting, so I was actually having this delusion that price would swing to the upside to that anticipated supply that we saw on the daily. So as you can see, I left it running thinking that price would shoot up, but as you can see, where I left my stop loss is, stayed, and price came in and took me out. But if I was, to put my TP on this edge of this range of the supply, this would have been a clean 2.65R, which would have been better. And although I was expecting that 3R, but that didn't happen. So that's a lesson learned. Coming next week, I think I'll be watchful of that. Okay, so what else? Price moved lower, caused this sell side liquidity with that long range. And I think we had some news coming in, I think, on Thursday. So I took this trade, okay, after I saw this change of character and then this pullback. I took this trade when price went up and then came down. I took this trade, but I took it with a buy stop. So price tagged me in the trade right here. Okay, it tagged me in right there, and then it went up. So when it was coming down, I was still anticipating for it, to push higher, because this was a sell side liquidity. I was anticipating for it to hold and take out these other highs that were left up here. But you see now, there was news later on, I think 5 p.m. East African time. So at 3 p.m. when New York was opening, it came and took out the sell side liquidity with this bearish candle, only to mitigate this supply, this demand down here. So after that was a loss to me. I felt, I was still positive that price would still buy to take out these highs and these highs, because now they had built liquidity on both sides, the buy side and the sell side. So when price came down, caused this change of character again, I figured that now this being my 15, I think this was my 5-minute POI. Let me check. Yeah, this was my 5-minute POI. How come I didn't change the color for me to keep that in mind? So yes, so I was expecting price to actually come down, okay, right there, and continue up. So what I did, I had to see on how I can capitalize and also recover back my losses. So what I did, I put in the buy stop again right around here, and I said, you know what, if price is gonna come down to this demand area, then that's when now I anticipated for at least another push to the upside, which now was the news at 5 p.m. That is 2 hours later after the New York Open, or the US Open. So after a shot up, now I recovered some few losses and also a few profits to the upside. So after that, I think this now was on Thursday, I just let price play out, and I wasn't involved in this pair coming into the end of the week, because somehow I felt now I wasn't interested, because even coming into here, I felt this power wasn't that much strong, so I was just focusing on other pairs. So I think that was gold. I'm about to show you right away. So what I'll be anticipating now on this pair is I'll remove this triangle, come to this double bottom, okay, draw my low like that, drag it across, because there's no candle that broke. I think there's no candle that broke to the downside. Okay, so nothing is clear for me on this pair. So if I'll be anticipating some buys, yeah, I don't think I'll have, I don't see anything here. So I'll just let price play out and see how next week is gonna open, and yeah, expect to see some relevant moves coming in next week of September, that is 9th to 13th. So let's move on now to gold and finish up or wrap up this episode. Okay, so let's finish up with the gold pair. Daily, we are still in an uptrend. Excuse me. So we had this high that was broken to the upside. So this is another high. It has not pulled back deeper than where it is right now, or also before this week. So I'll not mark that as my high, but I'll just anticipate for price to continue to the upside. What is tricky with gold for me is that on the 4-hour we had this change of character, the dotted line, and then we had multiple moves to the upside, which actually caused very strong buy side liquidity. So I don't know with those highs if we're going to break to the upside, or maybe with this change of character and all of these returns, maybe we could be starting some few pullbacks to the downside, maybe to this demand area, or anything lower than that. But we'll have to wait up on the next week to see how it will play out. 1 hour, I think now we'll just jump onto the trades, because I was actually monitoring the pair and I wasn't involved that much until on Thursday and Friday. So what happened is that on Wednesday, this what happened. I noticed there was this range, and then I marked this as my 15-minute demand, but let me just go 15-minute. So Wednesday was this range, marked this as my demand, and I was expecting price to at least come down to that demand before buying to the upside. So what happened is that price didn't do that. Instead, price touched the whole range, okay? Because if you look very closely, excuse me, we had this low, price pulled back like that, came down like this, then pulled back with this bullish candle, then came lower. Okay, so when price went up, now all this range from this high to this low is where price came into. But now I didn't draw that to be specific, and as you can see, I didn't have that confirmation that I could buy also. But coming in on Thursday, I think later during the New York session, I took this trade because I noticed there was this change of character, because also there was this supply that I was expecting price to come to after this change of character that happened, I think on when was this, Friday 30th of August. Yeah, so after that change of character we had a flip zone. Okay, we had a flip zone, I think right here. Let me see, we had a flip zone right here, because after price, let me see, after price came up like that, came down, went up, mitigated with this low, went up again, came back down, reacted to this sell to buy range. Okay, so that's the first flip zone, caused a change of character to the downside, then mitigated to the flip zone, then continued to the downside. So two things, I was expecting price to come to this supply and also this extreme supply here, and I think from the benefit of hindsight, we see that price actually did pull back to that area. So coming in now on that supply, I noticed that after this change of character there was this pullback, and then with this pullback now, I actually had this trade, virtual trade put up on this 15-minute supply around here. Okay, this pink one, sorry, 5-minute supply, okay, right there. Okay, and also the 1-minute supply right there. So I was expecting price to actually come to those points where now I would look to sell. But you see now when it pushed lower, okay, before it mitigated to that area, when it pushed lower, I felt now I would start to mark off my demand areas where I'll be expecting price to come to. So that's when I went to 5-minute and then checked closely, and that's when I noticed that price came to this demand area. And then when it arrived there, I noticed now we are doing some few pullbacks, and maybe we could be starting a significant pullback to to that extreme where we're expecting to sell from. So 5-minute, as you can see, there was no setup played out. So I went down now to the 1 minute to actually, you know, insist or persist on getting or looking for a buy. So let's check on that. So that's when now jumping into the 1 minute. Okay, there was this change of character. So let me try and you know, zoom in. Okay, so yeah, so if you look very closely from here, we had this low which pulled back with this bullish candle, then came down, then after that now came up to this supply area. So that means there was a 1 minute change of character around there. So when now price was coming down, okay, I let the price, you know, play out just to see how, you know, it will react. Okay, so when it came up to this point, I waited for price to come here. Okay, so as it was coming down like this, okay, I put my buy stop there, which was actually tagged. Okay, as you can see, then price now came lower. So when it was now coming lower to this point, I zoomed in to check if there were any pullbacks that were left pending, so that I could, you know, give myself a heads up and, you know, push my stop loss lower. So that's when I noticed that there was this demand area. Okay, 1 minute demand, which now gave me the hopes that we were now, you know, starting to buy and causing the pullback. So later on, when now price was going to my direction, I marked this as my supply, expecting to, you know, like price to break through, and also this high, I was expecting price to break through that high. So this was a very nice trade. I let it run, at least I let it play out during the night as I went off to sleep, and coming in the morning, as you can see, it hit my TP very well. So that was a very good 3.88R. Okay, and yeah, so after that now I left the trade, sorry, the price, you know, continue to the upside and also anticipate this sell. So what was a little bit unfortunate was that when price came to our zone, it actually tagged me in and started selling. So I only remember that we had NFP news coming up later on in the afternoon, but before that I had now to look for my positions because I was leaving home, you know, going to other errands. So I marked this off as my 15 minutes demand, and at least I was expecting price to, you know, come and maybe mitigate that that demand before going up. But I was still positive that price would come down, you know, and take out this liquidity. So what is unfortunate is that price only came down to this demand, this 5-minute demand, which I wasn't at my station, but I was expecting at least that to play out. Okay, so let me change this to my 5-minute demand, okay, for, you know, clear vision, okay, of the whole thing. So I was lucky. Let me just say that I was lucky because price came down, pulled back a little bit, then came down to take out now all these lows that were built, all this liquidity, okay, especially this one and this one and this one. Okay, so that means it hit my TP, then moved to the upside. So I think it played out something like that. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and then, you know, short to the upside with NFP news, then came down, you know, all these mumbo jumbles and ping pongs. So what I'm lucky about is that price, you know, came down and took me, sorry, and gave me my good TP that I was expecting. So what could I be expecting on gold? Though I'm never that much a big fan of it. It's very volatile. What I know is that 15 minutes we are still in the range, okay, of the high and the low. Okay, this high and this low down here. but I feel now with these relative lows and this low, this is enough liquidity to come and take them out, possibly coming in next week. Okay. So if I had not come out of that trade, then I would have been a customer or a client for liquidity. So yeah, so what will happen now is that I'll start now following up on this minor trend. So that was my low. Okay, so price broke to the upside, then came and broke to the downside. So we have some few supplies above. Actually, price has reacted to this demand off of this one, and it has come out of it very sublimely. So now I'll mark this off as my supply, expecting to see some few sells from those areas or zones. So I have that as my POI, and also this extreme. I won't want to ignore that. So either way, when I see some change of character between the two, and after it has filled this void, then maybe I'll be looking for some sales coming in next week. But I'm still deep in drawdown in my MFFX challenge, so I'll just be cautious with gold, and never want to give myself some cardiac arrests coming in next week. So 5 minutes, I think we have some few clues. We had a change of character on the 5 minutes, so let me mark that off. And also I feel we've also left some few demand. I don't think this is a good demand, but let me just mark it for the sake of having that at the back of my mind, maybe, because what is giving me some proof that that is a very valuable demand is because of this buy to sell range that I just marked. Price reacted off from that before shooting up and causing a change of character. So all that put in place, then that is what I'm expecting. Two things: either price continue to the upside there, then continue with the downtrend, or maybe come down fast, okay, to this area, then continue like that, and continue with the downtrend. So those are the things that I'll be expecting on gold, but obviously I'm very cautious, so I won't pay that pair in mind. But coming next week, I'll just be monitoring it, and if I get some few trades, then, and if you are in my Telegram group, then maybe we'll catch that together. So I don't have much to say, just have a nice week. I think let's mark off this supply, yeah, like that. Okay, so another thing is something that I love, okay, is a triangle, which I'm seeing right here. Okay, so let me draw that correctly for the sake of OCD and accuracy. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, so that's now what I'll be expecting on gold. Okay, so I'm kind of addicted to drawing zones, so bear with me. I have this zone also that, yes, was mitigated right there, but yeah, maybe it could push price to the upside, and maybe see or look to see some few moves to the upside before coming down and mitigating this possible 5 minute demand, and continue to the upside. So yeah, so that will be all for now. If you want us to trade together, join me up on the Telegram group. I'll leave the link on the description, but as simple as it is, JSMFx, and also TikTok, I'm live there, and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and all that on the channel. So have a nice weekend, have a nice week ahead, and God bless you guys.